was 9, I had a dream.
Hey guys, it's Gio from OG, and today is December 29th, 2013. It's 5:23 a.m. here, and today my target is Target. So I'm doing an OG site critique, and Target is the next item on the list. Alright, so off the bat, I like their nav bar more than I like Walmart's, mainly because Walmart's nav bar is... Whoa, what just happened? Walmart's nav bar is a little misleading. Uh, if you go here, you're like, oh, okay, the menu goes in this order, but then you can go down too, so it's kind of like a scissor trap. You're like, what the hell is going on? I like Target's navbar a little more than Walmart's off the bat, so that's one thing they just got kudos with me on, right? So one thing I dislike about their navbar off the bat is that it's cluttered. There's a lot of stuff on your navbar, so I don't know what's going on. This is a clever shopping cart, so I'll give you props for it. And another thing, right? I thought I was going to another page. Why did that just open up a submenu? Like, why did you just show me a breakdown of your men's items instead of sending me to one page? That just confused me. Because as a user, when I do not see anything, but I have a cursor that switches to a clickable cursor, I think you're going to redirect me to another page. Like, just naturally. Also, if I am to navigate through this, you do realize I have to click each of these items, right? This is a pain in the ass if I'm a user. So this is something Target may want to think back on. I would not make these submenus clickable. They need to be on hover submenus so that I can see stuff and go through it much faster than having to click it all. Now, the benefit of them doing this, inversely, is that it doesn't overwhelm you. It hides all of the details. And if you go over it and you know exactly what you're looking for, you just click and you have a more specific itemized search, which is cool. But if you do not know what you're looking for, this is going to be worse for you as a customer. So I really, it's both ways. You know, personally, I would have it the other way because you always want to assume your user knows nothing. But at the same time, if you did know where you wanted to look, this design will be better than the other design because it's not excessive. Now, oh hell no. No, see, that pisses me off a little bit. I dislike incohesive design. This is a clickable submenu, but this is a hover submenu. So why does this drop? When I say submenu, by the way, I mean drop downs, guys. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. Why does this drop down just happen when I hover over it, but I have to click this drop down? I don't like that. Like that pissed me off. If it's gonna do something else, don't put it in the same place because you've now confused me. Important notice: unauthorized access to payment card. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna move past that. Alright, so here's the next part of their site, right? This looks like a collage, and collages can be useful if the information is displayed correctly. In other words, collages serve a good purpose if they're done right, because they show you exactly what you're looking for, and they can get to it. But if a collage is done wrong, you can just confuse the user. Now, the way you can do a collage wrong is that you can display irrelevant information, or incohesive information, because in a collage, stuff usually needs to go together, right? Because you have one central theme when you're putting stuff together and you're trying to show it to somebody, right? So, off the bat, you're telling me about a get fit event, and then you're telling me about savings. So it's two different things, right? On top of that, this is the same thing, but you're giving me three different things on it. You're telling me I can save by purchasing your stuff, but you're doing it in three different ways. You have a clearance for savings of up to 60%, which is probably where I would look if I'm going to your site for savings. and then you're telling me about other savings. So I honestly think if you want to do this target, you should drop both of these into this section. Now, I wouldn't call this clearance, I would call it something like savings, and then I would have something for clearance, which tells you how much you have off and the items, and then I would have something for whatever this is, and then something for your furniture. Another thing, ways to save. Okay, I don't quite get that. Like, I understand what it means, but I'm a little confused. And even more stuff. Yeah, no, so I think this is an inefficient use of a collage. And on top of that, oh my god, why is there a blank column? What purpose does this serve? Alignment? That pissed me off right there. I'm gonna go to the next thing. This is full of errors, like in my mind. Visually, this is full of flaws. So I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, so this carousel looks nice. I like the carousel. I'm trying to find something else to move on to get that disgusting collage out of my mind. But this carousel looks nice. And I love how you fit 2 rows onto it. Uh, Another cool thing, it's a dynamic, uh, well, not dynamic, but it's responsive in the sense that you go over it and it changes the text. That's so cool. But does it really tell me anything important? Not really. All you're doing is advertising. Like, tell me something better than that. Like, why do I need to know that I'm going to revitalize my collection? Like, you could be replacing this with important information. Um, Also, I don't know when this carousel starts and I don't know when it ends. So that's a little disorienting. So let me go back really quick. Alright, this is 2 guns, right? I'm just gonna check if it revolves, because I'll be a little pissed. Okay, I'm pissed. So this is what we call, what me and my buddies call recursive statement, no base case. This menu infinitely loops, and you don't know when to stop. Like, really? Um, I'm a little tripped out here because I'm basically going to have to memorize the order of this menu by clicking it and looking at your items. That is not something you want your user to do. Your user does not need to do math when they're looking at your shit. And excuse me for, speaking foreign language. But yeah, no, this is not cool. You need a little breadcrumb. You need a little index on the bottom that says, where am I on your items menu? How many items are on your menu? And, what am I looking through? Also, you could use these on hovers more efficiently. I love the fact that when you hover over something, the text changes, but do something more with it. Don't just like tell me one trick can always be baking, because like that does not help me. Um, Alright, little icons, whatever. But you notice this is another collage. The Target design seems to love collages, and it just seems to put stuff in like grids. Grids are okay, but like use them correctly. And I'm not even trolling your design skills. I'm just saying like if you're gonna do something fancy, use it for a purpose. Don't just use pretty stuff to like look good. There's no purpose in using something if it only looks good. You have to walk the walk too. It's not just all talk. All right, so last and not least, hopefully not least to least, this is their footer. So it has a little sitemap that tells you, what's going on. Um, I like that. It's simple up here, but when you get down here, it gets a little more complicated. You're telling me there's different ways I can view all your products? Okay. But why is the information like, you know, privacy policy, transparency, whatever, why is that above this? Wouldn't this be at the bottom? Like, all rights reserved. Wouldn't that be at the bottom of your footer? Why is it above the itemized searches for your shit in the mobile version of your site? Like, I would just do this. I'd just do a quick switch like that. That's not too much of a big deal. But also, this footer is a little extra. That I don't know if this is necessary. So maybe there's a mobile version of your site, but you could tell me at the top. You don't have to make me go to the bottom to look for that. That's a waste of my time. Also, show all departments. You can move that bottom to the top. And I don't see why you couldn't do the views of all products by whatever at the top. So let me see. Women. Okay. Yeah. So maybe what I'm thinking is maybe the bottom of the site is for older computers that may not have um, the capabilities to use the fancy functionality at the top. That's all I can think of. But anyways, the Target site was pleasant and disappointing at the same time. I don't know where I'm weighing it in comparison to Walmart just yet. Look forward to a video on that though, because I'm definitely going to compare these sites at the end of the day. Have a nice day, guys. Thanks.